next up, I'm going to tell you about how I love to travel. I got friends all over the world, and one of our favorite things is to play games together. Unfortunately, when you're so far apart from each other, it can be very difficult to play games together. And one of my favorite is Mafia. And luckily for me, I've got a team that made a game that handled all of the difficult technical challenges of streaming video and game logic, and they've made it so that I can play these games as if my friends are near me. The Mafia, tell us how you did it.
Hi, my name is Danny Duval. I'm here with Brittany Chu and Gabby Jose Buckbilly. So how many of you are familiar with the game Mafia? Okay, great, fantastic. Well, we were big fans of the game ourselves, and we thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could play all together with our friends who live all over the world? So we decided to create a multiplayer online version. So Mafia is a hidden identity game of whodunit. And if you are unfamiliar with the rules, you can find them here on our homepage. So as a player, you can create a room, select the number of players, and assign a password if you want to make your game private. Your friends can then join you, and as they arrive in the room, you'll see a labeled video of them appear. We used the Opentok platform for our video integration, which is built on top of WebRTC. And using their server SDK, we were able to create unique video sessions for each game room and generate tokens for each client to subscribe them to the relevant session. So once everyone's arrived, the creator of the room can begin the game. The computer then assigns roles at random, and the hoot of an owl indicates the transition into nighttime, where the doctor, mafia, and detective are prompted to make their first selection. We controlled on our client-side video visibility. So if you're a villager, in the nighttime, your incoming videos are disabled and you only see yourself, whereas Mafia can see and hear everyone, so can discuss their plans in secret. I'll now hand you over to Brittany.
Thanks, Danny. In the final seconds of the round, it is revealed to the detective whether or not their guess of the Mafia was right or wrong. A rooster crow then signals daytime, where players find out who the Mafia killed in the night or if the doctor managed to save. Players are then left to throw around their accusations and discuss before votes are taken on who they think is the Mafia, and the results are revealed. For our stack, we used Node.js, Sequelize, PostgreSQL for the backend, React-Redux, Opentok for the front end, and Socket.io to communicate between the two. Because of the nature of the game Mafia, we couldn't keep all of our information on our front end, so we decided to keep all that game logic and classified data on the back end. With Socket.io, we were able to use each player's unique socket ID to assign his or her role through the socket. And, through the socket. And we were also able to have client sockets emit specific socket events based on their assigned role, and only have specific sockets receive a response emission back from the server. We were also able to broadcast to the game simultaneously if a player was dead or alive, or if the game had ended. And now here's Gabby to talk more about our technical challenges.
Thanks, Brittany. Our biggest technical challenge during this project was translating all of this game logic into code. So behind me is a simplified flowchart that shows the flow of just one round of Mafia, from the start of day to the end of night, and all the calculations done in that time. So let's see one moment where we see if the game's over or not. The big problem here is that we had to wait for multiple asynchronous actions to complete before we could compute anything. So through the use of promise chains, async await, and hooks on our database models, we configured our flow of data so that we always had the information we needed from the previous calculation before moving on to the next. And if the game was over, we had methods on our models that could check who had won. So let's say the villagers found out who all the Mafia were. The villagers claimed victory. But if the Mafia killed all of the villagers before that ever happened, then the Mafia take home the gold. Thinking through this game logic was almost as much fun as a game of Mafia itself. And lucky for the three of us, we love playing. If you want to play with your friends, head on over to mafiaacrosstheworld.com. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you've enjoyed the presentation.
All right, that was. That was impressive. It was impressive, and given that I really do like the Mafia game, and I feel like it's the original, and so I'm glad that they built it. I was also happy to see them using the Opentok API, which I think does, it makes this game a lot richer, and actually, instead of having a chat box or something, it really makes it a lot of fun to see everyone, and yeah, I really think it's very realistic.
I like the sign-on UI too. I think so many times people get there's too much stuff to do to get started. Here, just like you're in the game. That's really cool. Very nicely done.
That's right. I really do love this project. I love games generally. I think they really deal with the twin devils of making an application, which is dealing with synchronicity and having a lot of states that you have to manage. And Mafia was, when they came up with the idea, I thought, well, that can't be that hard, can it? And then when we saw all the data that had to be handled, all the logic, all the states that you couldn't keep on your front end, they really did a great job of really kind of applying.
Well, and the diagram that they showed was really cool. It's like, because the state machine that it has to go through.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it was cool that they enumerated it out instead of just coding it first.
Yeah.
And to vote for Mafia, like the post, like the comment,